1000 Elb Sisters, Andrea reaches. Her breaking point with Tammy's behavior. Is she finally done? The air inside the rehab facility felt heavier than usual that morning. It wasn't just the quiet hum of machines or the faint scent of antiseptic lingering in the halls. It was tension. Thick, unspoken, and building towards something inevitable. Andrea stood just outside Tammy's room, her arms folded tightly across her chest. She had been there for almost 10 minutes, staring at the door, debating whether to walk in or walk away. Anyone passing by could tell something wasn't right. Andrea wasn't someone who hesitated. She was strong, direct, and fiercely loyal. But today, even she looked unsure. Inside the room, Tammy sat in her wheelchair, scrolling aimlessly on her phone. Her expression was unreadable, somewhere between bored and annoyed. A half-eaten tray of food sat beside her, untouched for the most part. Andrea finally exhaled sharply and pushed the door open. "Tammy, we need to talk." Tammy didn't even look up at first. About what now? That one sentence, dismissive, tired, and slightly irritated, was enough to set the tone. Andrea's jaw tightened. "About everything," she replied. Tammy rolled her eyes but put her phone down with a sigh. "You always say that. It's never everything. It's always you telling me what I'm doing wrong." Andrea stepped further into the room, closing the door behind her. "Because you are doing things wrong, Tammy, and I'm tired of pretending it's okay." That got Tammy's attention. She looked up sharply. "Excuse me?" Andrea didn't back down. "You heard me." The breaking point. This wasn't the first argument, not even close. Over the past few months, Andrea had watched Tammy slip back into old habits, refusing to follow her diet, lashing out at staff, and shutting down anyone who tried to help her. At first, Andrea had been patient. She had reassured Tammy during her bad days. She had defended her when others criticized her. She had even ignored the attitude, the eye rolls, the snapping comments, telling herself Tammy was just struggling. But patience has limits, and Andrea had reached hers. "You promised me," Andrea continued, her voice firm but shaking slightly. "You said you were going to take this seriously this time." "I am taking it seriously," Tammy shot back. "Then why are you refusing therapy sessions? Why are you sneaking food? Why are you yelling at people who are literally trying to keep you alive?" Tammy's face flushed. "You don't know what it's like." Andrea let out a bitter laugh. "No, I don't know what it's like. I've been right here with you through everything. Every breakdown, every setback, every excuse. I've heard it all, Tammy." Silence filled the room. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Tammy's wall. Tammy looked away, her gaze falling to the floor. Her fingers gripped the armrest of her wheelchair. "You think this is easy for me?" she muttered. Andrea softened slightly, but only slightly. "No, I don't think it's easy, but that doesn't mean you get to treat people like garbage." Tammy's head snapped back up. You do," Andrea interrupted. "You push people away, then act like they abandoned you. You refuse help, then complain no one cares. It's exhausting, Tammy." The words hit harder than Andrea expected. Tammy's expression flickered. Anger, hurt, and something deeper, something more vulnerable. But instead of opening up, Tammy did what she always did. She built a wall. "Then leave," she said coldly. Andrea blinked. "What?" "If I'm so exhausting, then just leave. That's what everyone does eventually anyway." Andrea took a step back, stunned. "That's not fair," she said quietly. Tammy shrugged. "It's true." "No," Andrea replied, her voice rising again. "What's true is that you make it impossible for people to stay. You push and push until they can't take it anymore." Tammy's eyes filled with tears, but she refused to let them fall. "I don't need you," she said, though her voice wavered. Andrea stared at her for a long moment. "That's not true," she said gently, "and you know it." Andrea moved closer, her tone shifting from anger to something more raw. I've been there for you, Tammy, through everything. I've defended you when people called you difficult. I've believed in you when you didn't believe in yourself. Tammy stayed silent. But I can't keep doing this, Andrea continued. I can't keep watching you sabotage yourself. I can't keep being the only one trying. Tammy's lips trembled slightly. You're not the only one trying, she whispered. Andrea shook her head. Then show me, because right now, it doesn't look like you're trying at all. There was a long pause, the kind of silence that feels like it stretches forever. Then Tammy spoke. I'm scared. Andrea froze. It was the first honest thing Tammy had said all day. Of what? Andrea asked softly. Of, failing. Of trying and still not being enough. Of losing weight and still feeling empty. Andrea's expression softened completely now. Tammy. And what if I change and people still don't stay? Tammy continued, her voice breaking. What if I do all this work and it still doesn't matter? Andrea stepped closer and knelt down in front of her. It will matter, she said firmly. Because it'll matter to you. This isn't about anyone else. It's about your life. For a moment, it seemed like a breakthrough. Tammy wiped her eyes, her defenses lowered just enough to let someone in. Andrea reached for her hand. I'm not your enemy, she said. I'm on your side. Tammy hesitated, then slowly pulled her hand away. Andrea's heart sank. I don't know if I can do this, Tammy admitted. Andrea stood up slowly. That's the problem, she said quietly. You don't have to know. You just have to try. Tammy didn't respond. She stared ahead, lost in her thoughts. Andrea took a deep breath. I need to be honest with you, she said. Tammy looked up again. If things don't change, I can't keep doing this. I love you, but I can't keep being dragged down with you. The words hung in the air. Heavy. Final. Tammy's face fell. So you're giving up on me? Andrea shook her head. No, I'm refusing to give up on myself. Andrea walked toward the door, pausing just before she opened it. I'm here if you're ready to fight for yourself, she said without turning around. But I can't fight for you anymore. Then she left. The door clicked shut behind her. Tammy sat alone in the silence. For once, there was no one to argue with, no one to blame, just her. Andrea's breaking point wasn't just about one argument. It was about years of emotional strain, frustration, and hope slowly wearing thin. For Tammy, this moment could go one of two ways. She could finally take responsibility, face her fears, and begin making real changes. Or she could retreat deeper into her Pravichnyi defenses, pushing away one of the last people still standing by her side. As for Andrea, her message was clear. Love isn't unlimited when it's one-sided. Support isn't endless when it's ignored. And sometimes the hardest thing you can do for someone is step back and let them decide their own future. This wasn't just another fight. It was a turning point. Because when someone like Andrea, strong, loyal, and endlessly patient, reaches their breaking point, it means something has to change. The only question now is, will Tammy finally change before it's too late? Thank you for watching. Write what you think about it. Subscribe to the channel